Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sophie Erber. Police are asking for the public's help in finding a suspect involved in a bank robbery this morning. We have the details in our top story at 5. It happened around noon at the Iowa State Bank in Sheldon. Police say that suspect on your screen was armed. He's a black man about 6'2", wearing red glasses, white gloves, and black or gray pants. Authorities spent the afternoon going door to door looking for that suspect. A man reportedly fled the bank on foot with 2 money bags. And late this afternoon, we were told that the FBI would be taking over the investigation. If you have any information, you're asked to immediately call the Sheldon PD. That number's on your screen, 712-324-2525. Fire crews here in Sioux City were called to a historic church slated for demolition earlier this afternoon. Happened around 2:20 p.m. A caller reported flames coming from the roof of the former Mount Olive Church on the 1500 block of Douglas Street. When crews arrived there, they were able to quickly get that fire under control after removing part of the ceiling. Officials have not yet determined the cause of the fire, but because of the building's red tag status, they do not believe this fire was accidental.
The building is red tagged. It's supposed to be secured, but with many of the red tag buildings, they keep getting broken into. There's no utilities to the building, so there's no reason to believe that it was accidental cause due to electric or anything like that.
No injuries were reported. Fire officials do say that it is tough to assess the amount of damage to the structure since it is still scheduled to be torn down. A Columbus man has died following a motorcycle crash yesterday in Monona County. According to the state patrol there, 68-year-old Stephen Hendricks of Columbus was killed after striking the side of a semi while trying to pass a vehicle in front of him. That accident happened on Highway 183 near the border of Harrison County. That semi also lost control in the accident, but there were no reports of other injuries. Sobriety checkpoints will be held in 17 counties throughout South Dakota during the month of June. So those checkpoints are shown on the map you could see here. That includes Lincoln, Yankton, Minnehaha counties, all in our area. The Highway Patrol says that the goal of these checkpoints is to discourage people from drinking and driving. The checkpoints are funded by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, and they utilize help of local law enforcement. That ransomware attack on meatpacker JBS earlier this week has now brought more attention tonight to the issue of cybersecurity here in Siouxland. Individuals and businesses are at risk, and that's here and across the country. The COO of Computer Service Innovation says with each cyber attack, more businesses are looking for new ways to stay safe. Large businesses and even your cell phone put you at risk of attack, and some Siouxland businesses are taking extra precautions. Coming up tonight at 10, KCAU 9's Jason Toktagian explains what experts say the best course of action is and how some Siouxland businesses are reacting to a rise in cybersecurity type attacks. Some good news tonight. Water levels are expected to remain low throughout these summer months. This is according to a recent report out by the Army Corps of Engineers. Today, the organization says that runoff will be more than 30% below average this year, making 2021 the 22nd driest year on record. That's since they started keeping records. Currently, the Corps plans to reduce flows from Gavin's Point Dam to the minimum of 12,000 cubic feet per second for the second half of the year and also through the winter months. The Lewis and Clark Water Project will continue to expand this year, and that's thanks to a bump up in the budget. The Biden administration has proposed a $9.2 million addition to the project for 2022 that will allow them to help install infrastructure between Hull and Sheldon. The Lewis and Clark plant was first built back in 2012, and it does intend to connect 20 different communities in northwest Iowa to water from the Missouri River. So far, they have been able to connect 15 of those communities. The Iowa State Auditor Rob Sand and Governor Kim Reynolds tonight are exchanging some accusations. This over the governor's appearance in a PSA, or public service announcement, last fall that was encouraging Iowans to wear masks. It was called Step Up, Stop the Spread. It was that PSA campaign that came out in November, and it was paid for with $500,000 in federal funding. The governor approved that funding and appeared herself in the ad. Sand claims that violates a state law prohibiting self-promotion with public monies, which the governor signed in 2018. Meanwhile, Governor Reynolds said in a statement, the spending was appropriate because she had declared a state of emergency. And it's time now for our first check on the weather, and Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson is standing by. Scott, judging from that color behind you, a hot day here in Siouxland, but pleasant. We had a little breeze too.
Yeah, nice to have that breeze present today, Sophie. But yeah, a lot of oranges and reds covering our Siouxland map, and this is only the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. It is going to become hotter here as we go through the course of the weekend. You can see the high temperatures today ranging from the mid-80s to the low 90s. 90 degrees in Sheldon and Sioux Falls, 88 this afternoon in Sioux City. A big dome of hot air is hanging over the western United States, so it looks like that'll continue to migrate our way. And we can expect to see those temperatures rise into the 90s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A little relief is coming next week. We're also looking at some rain chances. We'll have more coming up with the complete 9-on-9 forecast. Sophie?
All right, thanks, Scott. The ROTC program at a local university ranks now in the top 15% nationwide. The University of South Dakota ranks 37th out of 274. They jumped up 100 places over last year. Cadet Colby Rickford is a junior at USD, and this is his second year in that program. He's currently a National Guard soldier from Gayville, South Dakota.
One of my favorite parts about the military and joining this program is meeting a bunch of new people from different backgrounds, different experiences, and the Army and the military is kind of that thing that brings you closer together and that strengthens that bond between you, and it becomes friends for life.
Officers with the program say recruitment is a key part to continued growth and success. USD's program has been around for more than 100 years now. He designs posters and signs and even hunts for fossils, but he's also an artist, and his latest work took him 25 years to complete. You'll meet the man behind the easel in this week's edition of Siouxland Stories.
I was standing in here by myself, just smiling. I thought that looks so cool on that wall. And I'm not an abstract artist, and it's obviously very abstract.
Meet Darren Maurer, an artist who moved to Siouxland from Nebraska. He's talking about the day he hung this painting up on the wall, a painting that was never intended to be a painting at all. It all started more than 3 decades ago.
I moved to Sioux City in 1989, and at the time I just did mainly pencil drawings and pen and ink work, not a lot of painting. And I met a couple people here in Sioux City that were artists, and they inspired me to get with it and try to learn how to paint. So I basically taught myself how to paint.
And it wasn't too long after that Darren bought himself an expensive piece of equipment.
I scraped together enough money one day to buy a really nice professional easel to use, and I brought it home, and it was the wood was so nice on it, I thought, man, I don't want to get paint all over this. And so I found an old white bed sheet, and I threw it over the top of the easel.
Using the sheet to wipe the brushes clean, year after year, painting after painting, the sheet itself became a work of art.
I started to look at it as like, boy, this could really be kind of cool someday, maybe, you know, if I keep doing this. And I kept looking for, as time went on, I'd have to look harder and harder for a spot that didn't have paint on it to wipe the brushes out. And so that's how it ended up getting paint basically on every square inch of it.
And so he posted it on Facebook, where it was shared throughout the community.
I think the story seems like it connected more maybe than the piece itself.
Because through this impromptu piece, Darren's 2,000 plus paintings are all connected, every blotch and brush stroke creating a portrait of his long and colorful career.
A little bit of paint from each one of those paintings on this bed sheet. And so that's why it kind of hit special with me. Somebody asked about if it was for sale already. And I mean, I don't think I could sell it. It's just one of those things that maybe it's not for sale.
So now that he's run out of space and the painting's on the wall.
Should I do it again? You know, I don't know if I have 2,000 some paintings left in me for another fully covered bed sheet. Maybe I'll use a twin.
And do you know someone with a story to tell? We'd like for you to share it with us. If so, it's easy to do. Email us at news@kcautv.com so we can share their stories with the rest of Siouxland. Be sure to tune in every Thursday at 5 and 10 for a new Siouxland story. Many people decided to adopt a pet during the pandemic. Why now? You might be waiting a while for your next grooming appointment coming up.
And you might recall that last week at this time we were talking about frost advisories in Siouxland, but the tables have turned. It's going to be hot and breezy outside this weekend with plenty of sunshine also dialed up for the region, but some thunderstorm chances beginning next week. Your 9 on 9 forecast straight ahead.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Sophie Erber and Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson. This is KCAU 9 News at 5.
Cooler conditions getting into next weekend with high temperatures in the middle to upper 80s. Well, here's a rose-breasted grosbeak. This was snapped in Wakefield, Nebraska, thanks to Jan Johnson for getting a picture of this pretty bird. If you have a picture that you want to share with Siouxland, find our website, SiouxlandProud.com. Jump on over to the weather tab, scroll down to send us your photos. Nature pictures, weather pictures, we love to share them here on the news.
Yeah, really cool. We have some bird watchers. I never knew the name of that bird, but it always looked like it had a bleeding heart. Very interesting.
Kind of does. Yeah, that red is really, you know, it's unique.
Yeah, it's striking. Thanks a lot, Scott. Well, you've probably met someone who's afraid of snakes or maybe spiders, but how about cicadas? We keep hearing about this brood X making its way across the country over the summer. The exposure therapy currently in place for those afraid coming up. But first, have you noticed it's become a waiting game to make a pet grooming appointment? Why there's a short supply of groomers? Next. Pandemic pets were all the rage over this past year, but all the new pups have meant a huge increase in demand for local groomers. Bridget Bennett explains why you might be waiting a while for that next appointment.
I just started taking care of my dog about 7 months ago.
Like many people, Julia Lamb added a pet to her family during the pandemic.
In the wintertime, his long coat, we were like, oh, we'll just wait until the summer.
But once the weather warmed up, she and so many new pet owners found the same problem.
I've been trying to find a groomer for, probably like 2 months or so, and just everyone seems to be booked, and like the wait lists have been extremely long, and it's just like months out.
Oh, the whole summer is booked for sure. It's going to be months. Yeah, we don't, if you called right now, I had nothing to offer you.
Dirty Dog Spa currently has a wait list of 112 dogs.
And it's really just like a lottery. Because once that dog cancels or we run ahead, we'll send a text message out to 5 people. And the first one that calls or texts back is the one that gets it.
This market saturation is something owner Tony Connors and many other groomers are struggling with.
People are like, what am I supposed to do? And it's just hard because it's such a physical job. We really just physically and mentally can only groom so many dogs a day.
Connors says the grooming industry has been short of workers for years.
Nationwide, we didn't have enough groomers. People just don't have enough interest to be a part of this industry. So then with COVID, with people doubling their pets, you know, we just cannot keep up. We have more customers than we ever had before.
But until more groomers can be trained, it means owners like Lamb are having to get creative.
So I kind of finagle my own grooming with like house scissors for now, just try to keep them cool, essentially, is what my plan is for the summer. So.
Well, cicadas are emerging in many parts of the country, and it's causing some people anxiety. We'll show you how one family is coping coming up after the break. We keep hearing it. The cicadas are here, and you can see and hear them. But if they're starting to scare you, a local psychiatrist says slowly spending more time with them can help you overcome anxiety. Reporter Carly Smith explains.
The mating call of the cicadas is getting louder day by day, and the population of the cicadas, well, can be overwhelming.
We're not used to seeing these critters in such large numbers, and they're loud.
I had to like cover my ears for a little bit to get used to it.
A noise 17 years in the making.
And I just wanted to make sure that my grandkids were not the least bit afraid or concerned.
I think social media this time has been more involved in the anticipation. So yeah, I think there's more anxiety than I've experienced in my former 2 exposures.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared of bugs. I'm kind of scared of most bugs, but I'm not scared of cicadas.
It works really, really well just to desensitize yourself.
He likes me.
And I would probably start with reading about the fascinating aspects of this creature.
We've also found a great book called Cicely the Cicada.
You can proceed to videos of creepy, crawly, moving insects, and then maybe in a controlled place with just a few.
Just look at them, like see how amazing they are.
That tickles.
You actually get desensitized and you get less symptoms from that, but you have to stay with it, so it can be a little difficult.
They're kind of scary at first, but you just gotta make yourself do it and then you'll get used to it. Yeah.
They're harmless. They're put on my head.
For Storm Team 2, I'm meteorologist Carly Smith.
Cicadas on our heads all around.
Taking a live look outside right now in sunny downtown Sioux City. Scott returns with one more check on your... We're about to wrap up here at 5, but first let's check in with Tim for what's coming up at 6. Hi, Tim.
Hey, good afternoon, Sophie. We're getting updates from Sheldon this afternoon. You've already reported on that bank robbery from earlier today. The manhunt continues, and we'll have an update tonight at 6 o'clock. Also, 2 years after flooding in northeast Nebraska, folks in the Norfolk area are still expressing concerns over how the Nebraska Department of Natural Resources handled that crisis. Our Hannah Adamson is in Norfolk tonight, and she'll have a live report after World News Tonight. And learn about a project that is transforming a young girl's prosthetic arm. And it's middle school students who are getting creative using their STEM skills to help out that youngster. It's a story that you'll want to see. That's coming up at 6 o'clock as well. Of course, I'll join you then.
All right, we'll see. That looks like a pretty cool story. We'll have to get the message behind that. And we have a beautiful night, especially if you're like me, Florida girl. I love this kind of hot weather.
Yeah, plenty of sunshine and heat to soak up here as we get into the weekend, Sophie. Tonight a low of 61 under clear skies. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow. 94 for the afternoon. 94 again on Saturday with the wind becoming stronger here through the course of the weekend and some more humidity along the way. Next week a little bit cooler and a chance of some thunderstorms coming into the mix on Wednesday.
All right, thanks so much, Scott. Thank you for joining us. We'll all see you here tonight at 6 with Tim. Until then, have a great night, everyone. Thanks for watching.